G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and watching my content. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk about the greatest game in the world, rugby. And yes, Owen Farrell is still incredibly insufferable. And yes, the referee, uh, Matthew Reynolds is, oh boy, we're gonna have to talk about him again, don't we? Oh boy. Yes, if that was Nick Berry who was on the sideline today, I think Owen Farrell probably would have had a yellow card. No, he definitely would have had a yellow card in the dying minutes of the match. Would that make a difference? I don't know. So yeah, let's put Matthew Reynolds once again under the microscope and see if he had made the right decision to right at the end there, whether Fiji has been hard done or not. So yeah, I've taken some screenshots. Let's look at this first one right at the end. 85 minutes. Is this turnover legal by Courtney Laws? The referee, who's right here, said that Courtney Laws had the right over the ball because this player, number 18, is off his feet. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair call. He essentially he was out of play, and Courtney Laws has the right to the ball. Yeah, I mean it's pretty close call. He's got his hands on the ground there. But yeah, I think he's made the right call there to finish the game. So there's not much dispute there about whether or not the right call was made at the end of the game. But the controversy happened just moments before. Let's try zoom this in a little bit. See if we can see this a bit better. So there was a pass here just moments before this game ended. Owen Farrell goes in and slaps the ball forward for a deliberate knock on. Now, Nick Berry actually went up to Matthew Reynolds and told him this should have been a yellow card. Yeah, Nick Berry, the touch judge, the Australian touch judge on the sideline. And Matthew Reynolds reasoned to Nick Berry that this pass is out of reach for, I think that's the Radrandra. But anyway, said it was out of reach for him, and therefore there was no line break opportunities because he wasn't going to catch the ball anyway. And Owen Farrell slaps the ball forward is deliberate and illegal, so just a penalty, and there will be no yellow card. But yeah, if that was Nick Berry on the field, this would have been a yellow card. Would have made a massive difference. I don't know. It would have been. I don't know if it's gonna be a massive difference. Would have definitely made a difference to the dying minutes of the game, because this is already at like 82 minutes, 83 minutes on the clock. So it's still Fiji will have one play, essentially against 14 men England, and was that gonna make a difference? I think it's hard to say, but yeah, it says what the referees can think depends on what people can think depends on the referee. But I think that's a fair call in my opinion. This is a fair call because it is out of reach for the Fijian player to catch that ball, and I think Reynolds has made the right decision. But if Nick Berry was to give issue a yellow card, I would have no issue either, because I do think that you could argue that you could argue that Owen Farrell has influenced his running a little bit, because by being I thought it would have been either way would have been fine with me. But what I do think was a really controversial call was this one. Kyle Sinclair getting upended in the scrum. This was about 83 minutes in the game, and this was very important scrum for Fiji, and Kyle Sinclair completely folded on himself. The referee called this a reset. Should have been a penalty to Fiji right there. And if that was a penalty to Fiji, this would have been an opportunity for Fiji that they were looking for that 5-meter line out, for the 5-meter set piece, and potentially get over the try line. And this was a massive call by Matthew Reynolds to just reset the scrum. It's I don't know why he called this a reset when Fiji had the overwhelming dominance. And yeah, this is 100% a penalty, and I think this is the most controversial call for me in the game, and I think this was probably more of a turning point than whether or not yellow card was warranted for Owen Farrell here. Yeah, this was a pretty big moment for Fiji, and this was pretty prime position for Fiji as well. If they got the penalty here, would have been an easy 5-meter line out for them to carry on for that next stage of offense. And finally, the fun of this play here, this is nothing to do with the referee. This was probably the last throw of the dice for Fiji on the clock. 75 minutes, and boy, if Kuravoli this past year went to hand, that would have been a try. That was so close. Oh man, like I could not believe how close that was. It just went a little bit too far, and Ben Earl's absolute amazing performance for England once again. Intercepts the ball, intercepts the loose ball, I guess, ran down the other way, and boy, this was close. And all props to Fiji. England once again, extremely poor. Owen Farrell, yeah, George Ford didn't even get any chance to get onto the field this game. So Owen Farrell was just on the field doing his shtick. And England's started at about a 10. And then as the game progressed, it just got lower and lower and lower and lower. And as Fiji started to peak and got themselves back into the game. Yeah, 3 tries to 2 for Fiji this game. Let's have a look at some of the key points. I felt the line-out more for England was slightly better than Fiji, and the line-out defense, the set piece was slightly better. But like I said, I think the scrum was a little bit hard done by for Fiji, and Fiji has scrum dominance at times. In terms of the backline, there was a lot of variety being shown by England, with the Marcus Smith doing a lot of the playmaking. Yeah, Owen Farrell just pretty much playing as a center. I don't know why they have him at 10 when he's basically a center, the way that he's, moving around the field anyway. And Marcus Smith was doing a lot of the variety. There was a lot of nice little kick behind, nice little grabber behind kicks. There was a lot of variety in the English kicking game, a lot higher accuracy in the English kicking game, especially in the first half of the game, which kept the Fijians struggling to get out of their own half. The kicking game had really large part to do with it. There was the English 4-pack, once again, did their job with a lot of strong carries. Ben Earl, like I already mentioned, did really well. Ellis Genge, big carries as well. And that forward dominance was really instrumental in wearing down a lot of the Fijian pack and to just keep it was very, very obvious England's strategy, trying to keep the Fijian pack moving from left and side of the field with Marcus Smith just constantly switching attack points, constantly stretching making the Fijian players turning around and running back with the kicking game, and then just having the big forwards belching down the middle of the field to try to wear out the Fijian team as much as they can. That's quite a simple game plan, and that worked quite well early in the game. And then England just went to their default game manager mode and tried to hold on to their lead. Owen Farrell's leadership, once again, not really lifting the team out of the ditch, just happy to be ahead. And that's an attitude I think England really has kind of had that. I guess it's a leftover syndrome from Eddie Jones era where they happy to just be ahead instead of trying to press their advantage, trying to press their dominance to really close out a game. So yeah, the game started off with, let's have a look at some of the match stats. 2 tries to England, 3 tries to Fiji, 515 run minutes for England, 407 for Fiji. By the way, a lot of you guys have issues with these stats. These stats are pulled from the Rugby World Cup website directly, so it's 100% exact. It's exactly the same as the Rugby World Cup website. Sometimes there are glitches, like for example, when there's a penalty try being scored, somehow the system thinks there's 2 tries being scored, but other than that, it's exactly the same. Everything else. So there was a bit of a glitch yesterday with the New Zealand games. A lot of you guys picked up, but yeah, that's because the system, it's a glitch in the website. But yeah, it's the data is collected by the same. It's the same data from World Rugby. Turnovers conceded 12 against England, 13 against Fijians. And you can see the English rush defense was extremely good today. Once again, they were able to push the Fijian back, especially in the last few minutes or so. 128 runs, 407 run minutes. So Fiji had a lot more runs, 25 more carries than England, and still had less run meters from a Fijian team. So yeah, it tells you how good the English defense were just by shutting down the attacking options and pushing the attack back consistently. So that was really well done. 148 tackles for England, 34 missed tackles. That is probably a little bit high in terms of missed tackle count. Steve Borthwick would definitely want that to be less than 15 if he wants to get anywhere near the Webb Ellis Cup. But yeah, he's still got a couple games to work through. Fiji, 28 missed tackles themselves, also a bit of a high end. Kicks in play, like I mentioned, England really dominated the kicking game, really controlled the kicking game. A lot of the times the Fijians replied to the kicking that was received to them was just like a kind of like a punt down the field, which leaves England in a good position to counter attack with no pressure applied to follow up the return kick. Owen Farrell missed 2 goals. Again, he was, there was one that was short and there was one from the sideline. So I, yeah, I don't know. I think it's yeah. I don't know. He did get a drop goal, which was well done, channeling a bit of Johnny Sexton, and the Fijians had 3 penalty goals missed, which was a little bit of would have been a massive difference there if they had converted those. But then again, the goal kicking, ever since Caleb Muntz was unfortunately injured at the beginning of the tournament, Fijians knew that was going to be an issue. So yeah, it is what it is. You just got to work with what you're given at times. But fought to the end, Fiji. There was really not much else more you can really ask out of the teams from that perspective. Lineouts, England 11 out of 0 lost. Fiji 17 lineouts. There was a couple of lineouts mistakes there from the pressure that was applied by Maori Itoje. Scrums, like I said, I really felt Fiji had a bit more dominance, a bit hard done by. Penalties conceded overall, 10 against England. There was 12 against Fiji. There was 1 yellow card on a head-on-head collision on Marcus Smith. There was number 14. There was Hambosi, head-on-head collision with Marcus Smith, and Hambosi got sent off for 10 minutes. And luckily, it was just a yellow. The mitigating factor was that Marcus Smith stepped into Hambosi, and there was just a yellow card, which I thought was the right decision there. So let's go through some of the moments in the game. Like literally right from the kickoff, England came out and pretty much went through their entire playbook in about 60 seconds. Like honestly, there was crossfield kicks right from the get-go. There was a crossfield kicks, fast attack line. Marcus Smith was doing looping around plays, was quickly switching from open side to blind side. Like literally everything out of the English playbook was on display in the first 60 seconds. And then they just stopped all of that for the rest of the game. Yeah. It was insane. And yeah, but luckily the Fijian defense was quite good. The England was not able to get over the try line. 9 minutes into the game, finally, England gets a penalty, just a smidge over the 50-meter mark. I thought for sure Owen would have kicked this one. In fact, this was right in the middle, but England said we're going to go for the line out. They went for the 20-meter line out. There was a penalty right away from the line out, and then followed another penalty right in front for offside. For not rolling away. And I think there was a seatbelt tackle there somewhere as well. England settles the game for a 3-point right in front. Easy kick for Owen Farrell because we know that he always misses the first one. I think the team just want to make sure that he gets an easy one to settle into things. So he gets the 3 points on the board. 9 minutes into the game. 13 minutes into the game. England once again gets a penalty, and Owen Farrell decides to not go for 3. They go for the 10-meter line out. England gets the ball. The ball was really slow, but they do get a penalty advantage. There was a nice little loop behind, and then the England quickly switches back around to the blind side. Tuilangi runs behind the ruck and just runs into the short channel and then punches through, rolls himself over the try line. And it was, really well done by Tuilangi. Shot a lot of that power, a lot of that play. And Owen Farrell kicks this one from the sideline. Try to kick this one from the sideline and hits the goalpost. 10 points hitting the goalpost. Just kidding. You get nothing. And the 8 points to 0. England leads 13 minutes into the game. 17 minutes into the game, Fijian gets the first penalty on the board. And once again, Frank Lomani, I think, is the one that took the kick here. Yeah, Lomani took the kick. And he just completely skewed it. The ball hits the goalpost, and it was really ball hit on, hit on the ball, and that was a missed opportunity. 19 minutes into the game, a no-arm tackle. There was another penalty for Fiji right in front, and this time Fiji gets it. Much slightly easier kick. I wouldn't even say much, slightly easier kick because he's right in front, and Lomani gets this one. 8 points to 3. Gets themselves on the board. 22 minutes into the game, England gets a bit of a nice front foot rugby going. A lot of just good hard punching game for the England 4-pack. A lot of attack speed. There was a penalty advantage against Fijians for not rolling away, and then the ball goes out center field. More crash balls, and then just short ball out wide. Joey Merchant had support out wide. He just punches through, straightens up his running line, punches through for the second England try. 15 points to 3, 22 minutes into the game. Yeah, England scored all of the tries within 22 minutes and lead by 12. And how they almost lost this game, I don't know. So the 26 minutes into the game, another penalty for Fiji. Tom Curry was offside from Iraq. And this attempt was missed once again by Lomani. 27 minutes into the game, Fiji had a line out. They set up for the maul, and it was just and the maul was sacked. So this one thing that England did really well, actually, instead of like trying to counter the maul, England was just tackling the ball receiver on to stop to sack the ball right away. So you can tackle the ball receiver before the maul was set, just to like avoid the maul completely. So England was able to do that really, really well this game. So a number of mauls was just sacked immediately as soon as before it was even set. Technically, you can't sack a maul once it's set. Just tackled the ball receiver was tackled immediately as they came down. So England did it here, but the ball was still on Fijian side. They're piling pressure, and eventually the big man Mata gets the short ball. He did a bit of dummy, and he straightens up and punches through for Fijians. The scoreline ticks up to 15 points to 10. 33 minutes into the game, England gets a penalty. The Faz kicks this one over, 18 points to 10. 37 minutes into the game, another penalty to England. Again, they just happy, like it's the whole team, right? Just kind of goes into the shell a little bit. And Farrell kicks another penalty, 21 points to 10. The second half starts. 4 minutes into the second half. England gets another penalty for a 3-point opportunity. They decided not to go for the penalty. They go for a 5-minute line out. They go for the maul. The maul was really well stopped by the Fijian forward pack, but the England gets a penalty for. What did really well by stuff by the forward pack. Ellis Genj was on the ground holding one of the Fijian players, and Fijian players tried to like shrug him off. Bit of a hand slapping. A referee told Genj to let go, and Genj refuses. Gives away a penalty. So instead of a scrum, Fijian gets an exit for a penalty. Ellis Genji was like, he was slapping me, and referee was like, gotta let him go, mate. You can't hold him down forever. 52 minutes into the game, there was a offside against Fiji. This time was right in front once again, and Owen Farrell was happy to just keep the scoreboard ticking. 24 points to 10. 56 minutes into the game, there was a tackle. There was a little bit of shove and pushing without the ball in the back line. The Fijian player gets penalized for taking out an English player without a ball. This was a 50-meter conversion kick, bit of an angle, in the 15-meter mark or so, and Farah misses this one. Yeah, it didn't even make the distance. So the 60 minutes into the game, Fijians finally found themselves a little bit more energy, a bit more urgency. They got really close to the 22-meter mark, and the knock-on started to creep in a little bit, and almost getting a bit of nightmares from the Portugal match, where knock-ons was just absolute plague in the team. So that was a bit of a concerning. But Fijian redeems himself the dominance over Sinclair, and then we already saw the thing. I thought this was a massive call. Referee says, no, there was another massive call earlier, in fact. This one, again, it looked like Sinclair completely got dominated, but the referee said the Fijian was boring in. I thought that was a tough call. I thought the Fijian showed enough forward movement to earn that will from the England for the scrum. So Sinclair was once again under a lot of pressure there. England starting to fall apart here a little bit. They gave away the penalty of one of their own lineouts where they obstructed their own jumper. Again, just very, very basic stuff. 65 minutes into the game, Fiji uses... 63 minutes into the game, the Fijians had a massive run down the center of the field. Naya Thalevu runs over Owen Farrell, and then the Fijians just utilized the full width of the field, started going down the right-hand side, and then turned the ball around, went down the left-hand side, and then went back in the middle, flat ball to Penny Ravai, who punches through a massive gap at center field, like like a cannonball, and it goes through for the second try for Fiji. 24 points to 17. Suddenly, only one try is in it. The game is right at we're right for the taking once again for the Fijians. There was a right from the kickoff, there was a nice break from Semi Rajandra, and there was a penalty given away against England, just inside the England half. The Fijians takes the 3 points. The ball hits the posts and then bounces back. The English team was completely asleep, so the Fijians actually recovers this ball and in a good position to attack. 68 minutes into the game, Rajandra crashes through center field, draws 2 players. It was looking like nothing was happening. There was a penalty advantage, and he just drawn 2 players and then popped the little pass off to the number 4 from Fiji, Nasila, who ran down the middle of the field and then linked up with his big boy Boltitu out on the wing, and goes in for the 3rd try for Fiji, leveling the scoreboard 24 points to 24, 68 minutes into the game. At this point, I almost woke up my neighbors. I was jumping up and down, and this was absolutely heart-pounding stuff on Fiji. It was unbelievable, and how England was able to throw away, such a huge lead coming out of that, no idea. And then England went back into the so-called the maintenance mode. There was a massive run by English number 8, Ben Earls, who ran down the middle of the field 71 minutes into the game. England was looking like they're going to score here. They got really close. Malo Tuilangi had a big run here, got really close to the try line, and then there was a lot of crash balls down the center of the field. And Owen Farrell decided that he had enough. He didn't want to actually score a try. That would have been a shame. So he took the ball and decided to go for a drop goal. Really close. It's not like anything that George Ford did, like the 50-meter ones, which were actually worth applauding. He just pumped the ball over about 10 meters out from the try line. I guess that's what you do. 27 points, 24. England gets themselves ahead. Right from the kickoff, Courtney Law gets tackled, and he stood on the try line. Stood on the sideline, and the Fijians had an opportunity for a line out. There was a knock on, and then they went for a scrum. And at this point, like I said, I showed you already, Sinclair clearly folded in this scrum. I really felt that Fijians deserved another penalty here and could have gone for a 5-meter line out. But referee says reset and let England out of jail here. The 75 minutes into the game, Fijians was running down middle of the field. Fijian had a scrum. The Kuravoli, like I already showed you here, ran, did a bit of a pick and go himself, and he had a runner crashing through this channel here, and he tried to pop the offload. The offload goes awry, and then Ben Earl, once again, doing the hard yard, picks off the loose ball, and then ran like 50 meters down the other end, got England in a good range. Fiji was penalized immediately for, I think it was for offside. And then Owen Farrell says, thanks very much. I'll take another 3. 30 points to 24. Keeps themselves ahead. And, finally, the game is winding down the clock. 78 minutes or so. Fiji had another scrum. Mario Itoje knocked on. And then, few scrums resets later, Fiji was running into a very, very good defensive wall for about, a good, 5 minutes or so, just like the All Blacks versus Ireland game. And then, Owen Farrell deliberately wants to keep everyone on their seats, wants to make sure that everyone got what they're worth. Does a deliberate knock on. He started cheering like he won the game. How could you be cheering after a deliberate knock on, thinking that you won the game? And the referee said it was a penalty, but no yellow card. And then game played on, and a few phases later, Mario Itoje gets his hands on the ball and gets the turnover, and the referee says, That's it. Good enough for me. And yeah, commiserations to Fiji. Really, much better performance than the Portugal game, and even the. I think this was probably the second best performance for Fiji out of this World Cup. The best performance was against Wales, despite the fact that they lost that one. And the second best performance I think for Fiji is this one. This was definitely in the hunt against a very, very, very good England team. This England team is much better than the Wallabies team that Fijian beat, and yeah, to come so close and just falling a little bit short right at the end there. Much better performance, like I said. No handling errors everywhere. Stay composed under huge pressure, and then pull themselves out of the ditch with heart, determination, and grit. Unbelievable performance by the Fijians, and yeah, see both week we'll have an easier run. Can't get a have easier run out of the pool as well. So Fiji really had the workload going into this game as well, and had a short turnaround. So with all that against them, almost winning the game is really just a amazing effort for the Fijians. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts on this game. Let me know if these decisions were correct. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys later for the Springbok versus France game. Cheers.